things are going your way early in the first half. This in that third quarter, what got away from you guys defensively?
Yeah, it was a combination of a couple things. You know, uh, defensively, we weren't making multiple efforts, and our next play speed to make the third and fourth effort that was necessary. We weren't getting to that, and then DeRozan just got fully into his comfort zone. Seemed like he was dribbling right to his sweet spots without any kind of duress, and that's not only our defense. Like he's a great offensive player, but when you're dealing with great offensive players, there's going to have to be those kind of extra efforts on top of that just to get him out of his sweet spots. And we did not handle that well. And then, we had a lot more turnovers in that second half that just kind of compounded those defensive, miscues.
Bam, there's been a lot of talk about getting more shots, but how important is it for him to get the right shots? And did you think tonight was just a case of just him missing early, taking him off his
Yeah,
game?
I mean that's an anomaly. He was missing point blank shots. That what that could have done, possibly give us a little bit more of a cushion in that first half. But hey, that happens. Even if he made some of those, that still wasn't going to overcome what we weren't able to do defensively in the second half as a group. And we'll clean that up. Our defense was not sharp tonight, and particularly in that second half. Well, even in the first half, they scored almost 60 points, and we're doing it pretty easily. So we have to shore that up. We have to get back to our identity defensively for sure.
Was Kyle too passive today? Was he maybe trying to
I don't
let
know.
the
You
game
guys
feel
keep on
itself
talking
out?
about offense. I mean, we're just giving up like crazy amounts of easy baskets and things that we'll have to clean up defensively just to get back to our identity. And then the turnovers in the second half. It's tough to get in any kind of rhythm when you're not getting stops and you're turning the ball over. So I don't know. I'll have to look, but that tends to lead to frustration when you're not doing either of those things well, taking care of the ball or defending.
How tough is it to clean those things up, though, when you're, what's it, 4 and 6 days to start the year or something?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
you got to have a day off in there somewhere, I'm assuming.
yeah.
I mean,
It'll be good to have a film day and a teaching day, and we haven't really had one of those in training camp since we've had a lot of practice time. We've basically just been hitting the wood and trying to prepare that way. So I think a good teaching session, is probably appropriate right now.
It's what DeMar does, but it seemed like fouls are kind of getting you guys a little bit. Is that
Yeah.
some opening night, just energy kind of getting the better of guys?
No, I think it was. I don't know if that led to it, energy of the first night, but our attention to detail, to the game plan, and really making multiple efforts to get him out of his sweet spots. If he continues, repeatedly to get to his sweet spots, it doesn't matter who you are. He's going to make you pay for that, and he was comfortably operating from 16 to 18 feet, pretty much at will in that second half, and we paid for that. And some of those, were the bailout fouls, and he does a great job. He's one of the best in the history of the game that knows how to draw fouls, and that's why it's so important to get players like him out of that sweet spot. And that requires a lot more attention to detail and some multiple efforts. But, we'll work to clean that up.
Caleb seemed like he was having an impact early on. What did you notice in terms of why they were able to kind of limit his touches later on, and then your overall thoughts on his first start?
Yeah, I thought he brought some really good things, his energy and his versatility on both sides of the floor. That's something that we'll definitely be able to build on. Overall, we just weren't very good defensively. And look, you have to credit them. They're the second best offensive team in the preseason. They were one of the best offensive teams last year before they had their injuries. you have to be on top of it with detail, with your effort, with your toughness. There were some 50-50 plays that, were swing moments potentially, in that second half, and they seemed to come up with a lot of those loose balls.
So on the topic of Caleb, we've seen him size down in the past, guard all positions, point guards, everything along those lines. What is your comfort level, I guess, with him sizing up on the switches, obviously, and guarding centers? What is your comfort level with that?
I'm comfortable with that, depending on who the center is. I don't think we got beat up in that regard. There were some more perimeter, miscues that we had, like either getting DeRozan out of his sweet spots, or once they put the ball on the floor, that next play speed to be able to get to some of those kickouts. We weren't very good in that regard either. Okay, thank you.